Yo, what is good YouTube? Matty Dubs here, back with another video, guys. We have some more breaking news, notes, highlights, observations from another day, actually the first day of joint practices between the Panthers and the Jets. So if you guys are interested in hearing about a little bit about both teams and how they're playing, Bryce Young, Aaron Rodgers, Allen Lazard, and some of the other guys on both these teams, if you're interested in hearing about it, make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video. But before we get in, do me a favor, as a little bit of a fight breaks out here as one of the linebackers for the Jets kind of scoops someone up. You're not really supposed to do that right now. But with that being said, guys, make sure you guys do me a favor, smash that like button, just so we can get this video to more Panthers and Jets fans around the field. But also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Join the family. I will be covering the entirety of, training camp, preseason, regular season, signings, trades, everything that happens. I got you guys covered. So make sure you guys join the family. Turn on post notifications so you're notified not only every time we post a video, but I also will be live streaming games, Jets games, Panthers games throughout the entirety of the season, the preseason, and all that. So make sure you guys join the family. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. So the one thing I wanted to note first was Bryce Young looked actually really good. There was some bad times, bad moments he had during practice, but for the most part, he looked pretty good. I mean, he's taking command of the offense. He's, getting his guys in the right spots at the right times. And, when people are running, or when wide receivers are running their routes, right when they break and turn, the ball's already there. So you can already tell he's building the chemistry, he's building the rapport, and he's extremely smart as a young quarterback. From Alabama, I haven't seen too many successful Alabama quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, Tua is up there, but Bryce Young might be one of the most successful ones, depending on how he does here in Carolina, obviously. But so far to start training camp, he's been relatively impressive, I would say. Now, I don't want to say that he had a flawless practice, because there were times where he looked a little off, and there was times where, maybe there was some mishaps. But for the most part, he looked pretty good. Right there, overthrow over his wide receiver's head. But I think this was a good day for Bryce Young in the Panthers offense. I think, the Jets were missing Sauce Gardner. They were missing Carl Lawson as well. But there was a mishap right there. So, like I said, Bryce Young didn't look amazing. He looked good. There were some mishaps. Austin Corbett is missed. Obviously, they want him back on the offensive line, and was showing yesterday's practice with the Jets. I feel like they did a good job getting to the quarterback, causing some disruption, and I feel like Austin Corbett is a guy that they really, really do want back, and they really do need. But we'll see, when he gets back here, when he is healthy, when he's ready to go. I don't know how long it's going to be, but we all know that he is a crucial part of their offensive line. He's a power guard, and, a guy who really looked good was, Quinnen Williams and Al Woods, guys who can get to the quarterback using their power and strength. That's when you want a guy like Austin Corbett in the lineup. So that was obviously something that was noticed, and that is something that could affect them come regular season time as well. So, and then now let's go on to the defensive side of the ball. The Carolina Panthers defense had a great practice. I feel like they ended the practice on a very good note. There were times in the beginning of practice where maybe they didn't look amazing, but they definitely ended the day on a great note. The defense has a lot of work to do. I don't want to sit here and say that they were amazing, they were flawless. Like I said, at the beginning of practice, there was definitely some holes that the Jets were finding. But overall, I think they came out the end and just had a pretty good ending to practice. I think, towards the end, they got an interception. Kamu Kruger-Hill had a good day. I think he got an interception as well. Zach Wilson threw a pick. So I think Kruger-Hill's a guy who's really climbing his way up the depth charts here. I think he's having a couple of good practices, especially with Frankie Louvu going down with an injury. I think he tweaked something. It might be minor. I don't think it's anything too serious. But we have to keep that in mind when we're talking about these next couple of practices. And Kamu Kruger-Hill is a guy who has really been stepping up. He's really been doing good and filling the role pretty well. Like I said, he had a good practice yesterday. Hopefully, he can continue to do that. And then there was also, some of their defensive linemen, their front seven was looking really good. I mean, Brian Burns, Derek Brown has been lethal over the last couple of days. Obviously, you guys, the former Auburn defensive tackle, he's been looking good. Obviously, Panthers fans really wanted that to happen sooner rather than later, but it's starting to happen now, which is good. Obviously, Justin Houston, there he is there. He's starting to we're trying to make a big impact on this team over the next few months. and as we go throughout the season. Nose tackle Marcon McCall, Shy Tuttle, Justin Houston. There was good coverage by Keith Taylor, C.J. Henderson on the boundary. So there's a lot of good guy, or a lot of things to take note of on the defensive side of the ball for the Panthers. A lot of things that I said, oh, okay, that is a good sign for them. Now, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. There's still a lot of work that they need to do, and chemistry that they need to build. I don't think this defense is going to be top 10. I don't think they're going to be top 12 right now. I think they have work to do, but they have the core. They have the young, the talent, the work ethic, the accountability, the responsibility. I think they have what it takes to be a very good defense, but I think it's more they just need to put it together. They need to maybe build some more chemistry and continue to build upon what they have going on right now. But I do think this team's future is extremely, extremely bright. Overall, a good day for the Panthers. I think there was a lot of high notes, a lot of low notes. But overall, I think it was solid. I think they needed to do this, get some rust off, and also go against some new competition. Now, as for the Jets, Allen Lazard looked really, really good. There was a period on 7-on-7s where he had a 60-plus yard touchdown over Xavier Woods. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That was something I took note of. Jason Brownlee, Xavier Gibson, Kenny Yeboah, Jeremy Ruckert, Mecole Hardman had all dropped passes during this practice, so that was something I took note of. Just an impressive performance, I would say, by Allen Lazard. I think he had a couple of big catches, including the 60-yarder. Mekhi Becton, he also looked very, very good. He looked good just, protecting his quarterback, man. Protecting his quarterback. So that was something that was very intriguing to me. Max Mitchell, a guy who, they kind of have high hopes for as a player coming in here and maybe even being a starter. I think he was a 4th-round pick of last season. He actually didn't have a great day. So that was definitely something to take note of. I think he allowed a couple of sacks that would have been on Aaron Rodgers. So obviously that's something they're going to take note of. And if Mekhi Becton starts to play better, then maybe he'll be the day one starter, because right now it's a question right now if Mekhi Becton is going to be the day one starter. Brandon Echols, a cornerback, he looked very good with Sauce Gardner sideline, like I said. With the minor quad injury, seems like he's going to be okay. But Echols definitely stepped into the starting role and made the most of his opportunity. I think he had a nice little pick, intercept pass that would have went for a pick six, I believe, if it was that actual game. So that was someone I took note of. And then another offensive lineman that didn't look so good was Billy Turner. I feel like he was, really struggling. Him and Max Mitchell definitely had issues stopping this defensive line from the Panthers. I feel like it's a good thing for the Panthers, man. I mean, Brian Burns, Derek Brown, these guys are tough to stop. So, and you could tell that during practice. So overall, not a bad day. Day 2, I believe, is canceled, guys. I think there's weather issues right now, so I don't think they're going to have a practice today or tomorrow. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family if you want more of these types of videos. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.